see you there. Why don't you come on in?
Take a seat, take a seat.
Hi, I'm Conner Major, and this is my office. Well, there's not a lot to say about it, but it's where I feel warm and cozy, especially because there's fire right next to me. I feel comfortable, and I hope you too can feel comfortable with me. So, today, we'll be reading an ancient story written in ancient Babylonia. It goes by many names, but in Western culture, it's known by one name and one name only: Shrek. It originated about right there. It's up for debate, but I'd like to read it. So, shall we begin? Shrek, written by William Steig and Ted Elliott. Once upon a time, there was a lovely princess, but she had an enchantment upon her of a fearful sort, which could only be broken by love's first kiss. She was locked away in a castle, guarded by a terrible fire-breathing dragon. Many brave knights had attempted to free her from this dreadful prison, but none prevailed. She waited in the dragon's keep, in the highest room of the tallest tower, for her true love and true love's first kiss. Like that's ever going to happen. What a load of toilet flush is what the script says. But we won't get into that. Then, All-Star by Smash Mouth plays. Sorry, the translations from ancient Babylonia are a tad bit off from English. This occurs at night near Shrek's home. You think it's in there? Said Man 1. Alright, let's get it, said Man 2. Whoa, hold on. You know what that thing can do to you? Yeah, it'll grind your bones for its bread. Shrek sneaks up behind them and laughs. Yes, well, actually, that would be a giant. Now, ogres, oh, they're much worse. They'll make a suit from your freshly peeled skin. No, said the man. Shrek exclaimed, they'll shave your liver, squeeze the jelly from your eyes. Actually, it's quite good on toast. Back! Back, beast. Back, I warn you. He waves a torch that smelled faintly of toast and jam at Shrek. Shrek calmly licks his fingers. And extinguishes the torch. The men shrink back away from him. Shrek roars very loudly until Enlong and his breath extinguishes all the remaining torches until the men are in the dark. I'd like to take a break for a moment and read you this scroll. This scroll came from ancient China, probably somewhere around the Han Dynasty. It reads, Big Banda. Big Banda lives all around us. Big Banda, he knows everything. Big Banda, he is with you. That speaks a lot to me, personally. It's been a guideline in my life. I hope you can understand why. Shall we continue? This is the part where you run away, exclaimed Shrek. The men scramble to get away. Shrek laughs. And stay out. He looks down and picks up a piece of paper and reads, Wanted, fairy tale creatures. He sighs and throws the paper over his shoulder. Now this, right here, is a lot of paper. 10,000 papers, to be exact. Well, in monetary value. And this is what he did. Astounding. Let's continue. The next day, there's a line of fairy tale creatures. The head of the guard sits at a table paying people for bringing the fairy tale creatures to him. Once again, the money comes into play. This picture of Jesus also comes into play. We're going to leave that face down. He doesn't want to hear what happens next. There are cages all around. Some of the people in Geppetto, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, all are in a cage. Pinocchio is being carried, and a farmer is carrying little baby pigs who are wearing suits, probably lawyers. Doctorates in this world are hard to obtain, but the pigs are usually good as punching. The guard exclaims, "All right, this one's full. Take it up. Away. Move it along. Come on, get up." Next page. We turn and we turn. This world is full of surprises. The head guard says, "Next." Another guard, taking the witch's broom. "Give me that. Your flying days are over." And he breaks the broom in half. The first time I read this, it brought tears to my heart. The witch only wanted to fly. But the guard, he took that away from her. What a bastard. I'm sorry for getting my emotions out on a comfortable fireside, but sometimes I have to speak my opinion. The head guard then exclaims, "That's 20 pieces of silver for the witch." Next. "Get up, come on." 20 pieces. The little bear in the cage cries, "This cage is too small. How will I fit my enormous bear cock?" The bear exclaims. And here we enter in Donkey. "Please don't turn me in. I'll never be stubborn again. I can change. Please, give me another chance." The old woman carrying Donkey says, "Oh, shut up." And he jerks his rope, along with a few other things. Donkey exclaims, "Oh!" The head guard says, "Next, what have you got?" Geppetto exclaims, "This little wooden puppet." This puppet, of course, being Pinocchio, of ancient Norse legend. Somewhere around, probably there, I think. Pinocchio exclaims, "I'm not a puppet, I'm a real boy. His nose grows, much like a friend that we know." The head guard exclaims, 5 shillings for the possessed toy. Take it away." Pinocchio, "Father, please, don't let him do this. Help me." Geppetto takes the money and walks off. I'm sorry. I need to take a moment for myself. If you're watching this at home or wherever you are, I think this is a moment to get a drink or maybe use the bathroom. Whatever suits your needs. I need to try and see something. This is good. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm ready. Oh. I apologize. I usually don't take time for myself, but we'll continue. Yeah. When we left off, the guards were snatching up Donkey and Pinocchio. Head guard. "Next, what have you got?" The old woman says, "Well, I got a talking donkey." "Right, well, that's good for 10 shillings if you can prove it." Old woman, "Oh, go on ahead, little fella." Donkey just looks up at her. Well? Oh, he's just a little nervous. He's really quite a chatterbox. Talk, you boneheaded dolt. That's it, I've heard enough. Guards. No, he talks, he does. You should have seen him in the bedroom last night. I can talk. I love to talk. I'm the talkiest damn thing you ever saw. Get her out of my sight. No, I swear. Oh no, he can talk. The guards grab the woman, and she struggles with one of her legs. It flies out and kicks Tinkerbell out of Peter Pan's hands, and her cage drops on Donkey's head. He gets sprinkled with fairy dust, and he's able to fly. Hey, I can fly! Exclaims Donkey. And that brings us to our next page. We'll also take this as a moment to, well, I like to explain the meaning behind this. As you can see, it's of South American descent, preferably the Spanish language. This says, Ching Chong Big Bang, which in English means, hello, I am your friend, and I really wish that we were more than friends. And then it leads to aggressive spanking after, but that's not part of the translation. So we're going to actually turn that around. I forgot how inappropriate that was. I apologize. Next page. And this is actually close to our final remarks. At the end, we'll have a surprise excerpt from the Quran, and possibly a Thanos quote. Peter Pan exclaims to Donkey, "He can fly!" The three little pigs also exclaim, "He can fly!" The head guard, "He can talk." Donkey says, "Ha, that's right, fool. Now I'm a flying, talking donkey. You might have seen a housefly, maybe even a superfly, but I bet you ain't never seen a donkey fly." The pixie dust begins to wear off about this moment. "Uh-oh," exclaims Donkey. At this point, the only thing that was still flying was his donkey wiener. It was extraordinarily large, and it was holding him up like a propeller. If you've heard of the helicopter, you have not seen anything yet. He hits the ground with a thud. Head guard, "Seize him!" Donkey takes off running. "After him!" "He's getting away, get him! This way, turn!" Donkey keeps running, and he eventually runs into Shrek. Literally. Shrek turns around to see who bumped into him. Donkey looks scared. For a moment, then, he spots the guards coming up on the path. He quickly hides behind Shrek. "You there, ogre?" "Aye." "By the order of Lord Farquaad, I am authorized to place you both under arrest and transport you to a designated resettlement facility. We call it Auschwitz." Shrek says, "Oh, really? You and what army?" He looks behind the guard, and the guard turns to look as well. And we see that the other men have run off. The guard tucks tail and runs off as well. Shrek laughs and gives a long boast. "Ha ha ha! I am victorious," he exclaims. And he goes back to business and begins walking back to his cottage. Now, this is where the script ends in the story. But, of course, what's a story without a little interpretation? We'll talk about what happens next. Shrek and Donkey return to Shrek's humble abode. And Shrek, after saving Donkey's life, demands patronage. And this leads to aggressive donkey and ogre intercourse, we'll put it that way. Which also leads us to the Quran that I'd like to read. We'll pause it here. Welcome back. We left off at a interesting turn of events with Shrek and Donkey. I'm sure you remember what it was. But that led me to an interesting thought. The Quran. The Quran itself is a beautiful thing. And there's a few verses I'd like to read The first pertaining to donkeys. Loosely, but enough for me to clearly quote it. This is what Allah says. Now go and strike the infidel, and devote to destruction all that they have. Do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, child and infant, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. Surah 27:63. I particularly like this one. But another one I particularly enjoyed was, a wife must submit to her husband as to Allah. I myself, I'm not a husband, nor am I Allah, but I appreciate the donkeys that we have. Because if we didn't have the donkeys, where would I get my momentary pleasure without the bonds of marriage? The answer, of course, is the donkey, which Shrek also found an answer in. Well, I think that concludes our Fireside video. Thank you for coming. I'll see you off myself. But first, why don't we enjoy this fire? We'll pull it back up. Beautiful, isn't it? May hell be as beautiful as this. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you next week on The Fireside.